What's going on, guys? Welcome to a sponsored video. I'd just like to thank the people over at Lawbreakers for flying me out of LA to play Lawbreakers early. The game is now released and you can purchase it in the top link in the description down below. I'm going to ramble and talk about the game as much as I possibly can for the 10 minutes of this video. What you're watching is gunslinger gameplay. The gunslinger actually has a rifle pistol. Pretty much you charge this shot up, it does crazy damage. Headshots obviously have more damage. He's got a secondary pistol that does a little bit of burst fire to change up and kill some people. Just kind of finish people off after you've already headshotted them. But enough about my class and my favorite class, which obviously, like I just said, is the gunslinger. Let's talk about what Lawbreakers is. Lawbreakers is a hardcore arena first-person shooter. I personally was playing it on PS4. And I know a lot of you are going to be like, oh, you played a hardcore arena FPS on a console and not on PC? Personally, I actually enjoyed it from playing both on PC and console a hell of a lot more on console. And I'll tell you why. But first, let's explain what goes on in Lawbreakers. So there are 8 different classes. All of these classes have crazy different abilities and roles to help you win the game. You definitely want to have a balanced team where you do have a healer, you have tanks, you have damage DPS dealers, and you try to balance out your team as much as possible. Although, since it is an arena FPS shooter, you can have a stacked team of crazy good aimers as gunslingers and still win, because you know how to aim. So, each map has a low gravity zone. This low gravity zone, you can go up, down, left, right, wherever you want, as any class you want. A lot of classes have a lot of movement abilities though, such as the Enforcer, and you'll see as me as the gunslinger, I have a dash ability. The Enforcer has a speed boost ability. The Assassin can swing from walls using this like light beam. It's really, really cool, but there are a lot of classes that cannot go into these low gravity areas, so it's kind of balancing out the map and making sure everybody uses every which alley and every which area. So like the Juggernaut's a really big fat dude with a ton of HP, and he can't just like go into low grav areas because he's gonna be a sitting duck. He doesn't have any movement abilities. He can summon shields, and he's more of a defensive class to stay back at base to either defend the battery, defend the flag, or whatever game type you happen to be playing. So just with that out of the way, and just kind of explaining how the game works, you guys can check the link in the description to find out more about the classes and stuff if you want to know specifics about each class, see if you're gonna like the game or not. I'm going to say right now, if you're not someone that is very good at first-person shooters, I would not go off and purchase this game. This is definitely for the hardcore faint of mind. Like, you need to put some hours into this game. If you played CSGO or you played Call of Duty a lot, this is definitely something that you might want to get into. It is definitely like a casual in the sense of being able to just jump in and play a few matches and then hop off. But it's also hardcore in the sense if you hop in once every 3 weeks, you're going to be at a crazy disadvantage. There are abilities that are kind of quote-unquote secret abilities. So with the gunslinger, you're going to see me do it several times in this video. If I dash and then shoot both my guns at the same time, it'll rapid fire shoot those weapons. Each class kind of has its own little quirk of like combination moves that will eventually just kill you in almost, it feels like one hit. But in no way is this overpowered, because there are counters to every single ability that can be thrown your way. So, like the Wraith, which is this guy that has a knife, he can shoot like a knife that explodes, and he has an ability where he can dash into you, kick you in the face, and then stab you in the face, and it pretty much will insta-kill you. But if you're smart enough to realize that there's a Wraith coming at you, you kick him, he slows down, he gets like crazy disoriented, and then you just fuck him up. So there's a lot of skill gaps in that way if you don't know the combinations and the abilities. I would recommend going class per class and trying to figure out how each one works before you just like jump ahead and try to use everything. So that's the best way like I can explain how the game works without really getting in depth. You're better off reading again about the game on the website. But I'm just going to give my opinions on it right now. I told you earlier that I actually preferred it on PS4. And the reason why I like it more on PS4 is because the console has aim assist. I know it sounds kind of bad for a hardcore arena FPS, but PC doesn't have aim assist, and the characters are 1-for-1 on their model. If you shoot their model, they're gonna get damaged to hit. If you shoot slightly to the left or slightly to the right, it's not gonna hit them. Some people are thinking like, yeah, that's kind of good, it makes sense. But then you look back to Overwatch, where like Hanzo has a large projectile because it would be next to impossible to hit half of the characters with an arrow just because they move too quickly. I kind of get that vibe with this game very often when I'm playing on PC. The precision is almost too exact. For someone that actually got to like GE Global Elite on CSGO, played countless fucking hours of CSGO, plays, I can't even tell you how much Call of Duty I played. I can't tell you how much Unreal Tournament I played back in the day. Never really got into Quake, but this game, it just seems way too spot on to the point where you're missing a lot of shots that almost feel like it could just be near network to network, peer to peer, that might be causing you to miss a lot of shots because it's 1-for-1. I would prefer if they just even 0.5% larger than the human being's body size to be a hitbox would make this a hell of a lot better. There's something about it that's a little too cheesy. But I feel like on console, you have that aim assist. So when you aim at a guy, it kind of doesn't really float with him, but it slows down your shot, if you know what aim assist is. It slows down your shot, and then you're able to line it up a lot easier. Obviously, using a controller, it's much more necessary because you can't be as precise with a controller. But I felt like it was a lot easier to hit shots, and it seemed like there was still a skill gap there where you need to be able to aim, you need to be able to have high sensitivity on, you need to be able to learn your class and learn the button combinations. And it felt very nice on a controller. I personally, if you're looking for this game and you're not crazy hardcore and you're going to dump countless hours into it, I would get it on PS4 because you have the aim assist. At least if you take a week off from the game and come back to it, you're still going to have that aim assist as like a crutch to help you get back into the game. And I had a ton of fun playing it on PS4, more than I did on PC, which honestly, I was surprised that that was the case. Overall, I feel like the characters are really cool. Every single one seems relatively balanced and useful in some way. Then we get to the maps. There's a few maps that I didn't enjoy, but I feel like on every single game there's maps that people don't enjoy. But then the game modes, there was also a few in there that didn't seem too balanced for the way the classes work. Like the assassin that can swing from the heavens and go billion miles an hour and get from one side of the map to the other in milliseconds. Didn't make sense to have that class running around and capture the flag because it took 3-4 seconds to get the flag to the other side, and then you pretty much win in like 5 minutes flat, and you can hardly hit her out of the sky, especially if you're playing on PC, swinging through the sky. Like, your mouse sensitivity has to be the same speed as which she's swinging if you even plan on hitting her. So things like that, there's a few balance issues, but past that, I had a lot of fun playing this game. I think it was definitely worth flying me out and playing it early. I did enjoy it. I hope to actually hop on the game in the future, possibly on live stream, to show you guys kind of how I play. I want to get my PS4 set up. I do have some PS4 codes that I'm going to put in, maybe jump on with Boomer and stuff in the future as well. It should be really, really cool. I hope they work out some more kinks and some balancing issues, maybe introduce some more classes in the future. I feel like they definitely need another healer, maybe a more direct healer that's not like a battle healer, someone that is specifically built for healing. I feel like that would make it really fun. Maybe payload type of game type would be really cool. I feel like they're trying too hard to not copy other games, but I always say if it's not broke, don't fix it. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like on the video. Again, check the top link in the description. Again, thank you Lawbreakers for sponsoring this, and see you guys in the next one.